It's another time with the Power Circuit. This weekly informative program is brought to you by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. In this edition, we have the following reports. Federal government committed to delivering stable national electricity grid, says Minister of Power. TCN accelerates brand new 132-33 kilovolts Amasiri substation in Ebonyi State. Kano Transmission Substation expands with 100 MVA power transformer. In the interview segment, Mr. Ugoji Alozie, Principal Manager and Head of Health, Safety and Environment, Port Harcourt Region of TCN, will be emphasizing on the place of safety at TCN. As always, let's have your attention for the next half hour. I am Amara Agugesi. The Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, says the federal government is committed towards having a stable national electricity grid.
Speaking at his recent visit to the National Control Center, Osogbo, in Osun State, the minister commended the Transmission Company of Nigeria being the operator of the grid.
I believe so much in inspiring and incentivizing committed, passionate and hard-working staff. We need to put in place an institutional policy to celebrate milestone achievement of such lack of disruption in national grid, and the people responsible must be duly compensated.
The minister also explained his motive of making the National Control Center his first port of call.
There are a number of reasons for this, but I only itemize 3 of it for you. Before anybody could start setting out to visit offsite locations, to see our installations and how we perform, the first is for you to sit down, to talk to heads of departments, heads of agencies, and the staff handling various functions in the agency to fully understand what they are doing, what the issues are, and what are the likely suggested solutions to all these issues before one set out to start visiting locations and start making promises that are not workable. That's why it took me about 3 weeks before I started visiting locations. And I want to thank all the agencies, all my departmental directors for their cooperation. My first 2-3 weeks, we had so many meetings that I've been able to find out what the issues are with the sector and how can we move the sector forward. We've done a lot of work. All we need to do is to be consistent, to cross the T's, to dot the I's, so that the impact of our work will be felt by the consumers of electricity.
Earlier, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of TCN, Engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, welcomed the Minister to the National Control Center.
What we are doing is just welcoming the Honorable Minister. Yes. So you clap for him first. Honorable Minister, you are welcome to NCC Osogbo. Let's hear from you, sir.
At the National Control Room, the Executive Director, Independent System Operation at TCN, Engineer Maman Lawal, briefed the minister on the operation of the power transmission grid.
Before the operation of the past week, we report that we had maintained grid stability before. However, about 180 days. Suffice to mention that this IoT BPL aside from the IoT, the Internet of Things and virtual private network BPL, we also have a robust other proprietary load sheds in place, so that whenever we do generation, we are able to use the equivalent load, so that frequency is kept within limit. And this is a major index for determining system stability. And of course, we have made so much stride in the grid expansion. So these are the 3 major things that have happened. Grid expansion, this IoT BPL and robust communication solutions that help.
Responding, the minister acknowledged the immense efforts put in by the TCN management in the efforts to stabilize the grid.
We all know the importance of this, of our ministry to start with, to the economy of Nigeria, and we know the importance of transmission to the power sector value chain, and the importance of this center itself to the transmission company. So we need to do everything to ensure that we maintain grid stability consistently, because it's quite sensitive. If anything happens in other ministries, Nigerians may not know. And things do happen, of course. But this is, in fact, ours is the most sensitive of the ministry because of the nature of the utility service that we provide. The name of our ministry is on the lips of every household, on the lips of every small business, every institution, medical, academic, and every industry.
In further remarks, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of TCN, Engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, assured the company will put in more efforts in advancing the system.
I'm sure you are going to give us a helping hand. Yes. So within your tenure, I assure you, SCADA is going to be available here 100%. So I assure you, Honorable Minister, we are going to make sure that Nigerians get light, and we make sure that the grid is safe and reliable.
In its quest to continually expand the electricity transmission system nationwide, the Transmission Company of Nigeria TCN is accelerating the completion of the 132-33 kV Amasiri transmission substation in Ebonyi State. A team of TCN officials has inspected the level of project completion at the site so far.
The management team which visited the Amasiri Transmission Substation project site was led by the Regional Transmission Manager Enugu Region of TCN, Engineer Emmanuel Akpa, where they were briefed on the near completion state of the project.
Well, so far the impression is high. North China has been a very good, they are not new to us. Of course, you know that API sub-region or substation, the 33132 API was constructed by the North China. And so many other jobs, projects, scattered all over the station, done by North China. We know they do a good job. And so far, what I've seen so far is the testimony of exactly what I'm saying. The switchyard itself is almost 70-80% completed, the switchyard. And of course, you can see the waters for the operators. That's actually what they're doing. If we can follow them by what they said, hopefully at least by November we should be thinking about commissioning this place. Why we actually decided to visit here is because there are questions from corporate reporters asking us the status of the station, because the contractor handling the line, transmission line, she has actually been mobilized back to site, and then she promised that she's still going to, she doesn't want to finish the line without being energized, because that's actually the problem. Because if the line is finished and the equipment in substations are not ready, so if you leave the station, the line, sorry, of course it will be prone to vandalism.
He said the new 132-33 kV Amasiri substation will be of immense benefit to Afikpo, Amasiri and the surrounding communities when it becomes operational. Engineer Akpa and his team also inspected the various sections of the 132 33 kV Amasiri transmission substation. Mr. Williams John, an official of North China Engineering and project contractor, stated the work level as well as some challenges with securing materials at the site. Mr. John assured that the project will be completed this year and handed over to TCN. Engineer Akpa and his team also inspected the 132 33 kV Abakaliki transmission substation. The team then mapped out space for switchyard expansion to accommodate the equipment of the Abakaliki Amasiri 132 kV transmission line 1 and 2 bays. This will transmit bulk power to the new Amasiri substation when it becomes operational shortly.
Keep it up with the power circuit right after this break.
Verify that land before you buy it. To drastically reduce the incidence of building under the transmission right-of-way or encroaching on designated TCN land, members of the public are hereby requested to verify land near or along transmission line route before purchasing it. Verification should be made in the Land Development Authority or at the TCN office. This would help in drastically reducing the incidence of building under transmission line right-of-way and save us all the problem of pulling down the structure or truncating transmission line expansion projects in your community due to court injunction. Help us serve you better. Verify that land before you buy it.
Still on its bulk power transmission mandate, the power circuit takes you to the Danggundi transmission substation in the heart of Kano, where a new 100 MVA power transformer has just been installed. This 132 33 kV substation is among the foremost power transmission facilities in Kano and is benefiting from the ongoing presidential power initiative.
At the control room of the 132 33 kV Danggundi transmission substation, Engineer Aliyu Grazo, a senior manager system operations, spoke on the durability of the facility.
The station is 55 years old. It was officially commissioned around 1968.
For scores of decades, the Danggundi transmission substation has continuously delivered on its bulk power transmission capacity.
The coverage area of this station is almost 80 to 90% of Kano metropolis. We cover almost all the injection substations inside the metropolis. And the capacity of the station at Isna, it is 180 MVA. That is the installation capacity of 3 by 60 MVA transformers, which means we can transmit up to 144 megawatts at 80%.
And recently, TCN installed a 100 MVA power transformer, thereby increasing the capacity of the substation. In spite of the expansion, the major challenge hampering increased bulk power evacuation from this facility to distribution load centers is the massive encroachment of right-of-way of power transmission lines.
It is because of this right-of-way this line has not been upgraded since. Because initially when this station was built, the population of Kano plus Jigawa at 1961 or 1960 statistics, it was at 420 something, 450, stand at 450. But now, with the current rapid growth of the population of Kano alone without Jigawa stand at almost 4.5 million. You can see the difference. So that line cannot withstand it. That is why the issue of right of way comes.
Safety is paramount in every activity, and this is especially in the power sector where there is zero tolerance for accidents. The Transmission Company of Nigeria (TCN) takes this to heart, ensuring the strictest compliance with all safety checklists. In today's interview segment, Mr. Ugoji Alozie, Principal Manager and Head of Health, Safety and Environment, Port Harcourt Region of TCN, speaks about this. What is the role of health, safety and environment at TCN?
Health, safety and environment in TCN is the department forested with the task of ensuring that staff, workers, equipment of TCN doesn't get into any accident. The staff work safely and the equipment are protected.
There are several records of the violation of right of way of power transmission lines across the regions. How are you tackling it in this region?
We are doing our best, but more needs to be done. The TCN management is doing their best, but this thing falls on the people. They don't know the dangers inherent in encroaching into the right of way. Some build houses on top of it. Let us get this thing holistically. Some build houses, erect shops, do all manner of things, both in the highest voltage and the lower voltages of our lines. Now, when you go to, in some occasions when our lines people go to discover these things, when they come back with these news, some of them fight them, threaten them, things like that. They fight our people simply because you tell them what you're doing is wrong. And the management also is trying, because oftentimes we enlist through the management the services of the armed security, government-owned security agents, and sometimes even the local vigilantes, to ensure that these things do not happen. But is on the rise.
What message do you have for the general public on this?
We have this, we've been internally and externally. Internally, we've been doing a lot to sensitize our own people on the need to work safely. Externally too, the management has been going around telling people, using the local vigilantes, the village chiefs, the monarchs of communities, through us, we get in touch with them to tell them the need not to go close to our TCN installations. These things are not good for us holistically. The economic life of the people can be grounded because of lack of power. Socio-cultural life of the people can be grounded. So, message I'm telling people not to vandalize our properties. Properties, they belong to him and the rest of the Nigerians, including myself. Then it impacts negatively on the economic and socio-economic life of the people. People who depend on electricity to do their job will not do their job. They will earn their daily pay because you disrupted their source of power. People who do other things with electricity also are affected. You see? So generally, it is bad to tamper or destroy things that vandalize things that belong to you, because simply it is government. Who is government? Government is you and I.
The TCN management routinely restocks safety kits for use by staff. How important are these kits?
I must have to thank the Apex management at Abuja, the CHQ, for providing these things. And this time around, what I saw as a safety man are superior qualitative personal protective equipment we receive from them, which is what we find in other multinational companies. Finally, the thing I left to us. I must have to show my appreciation to them, no matter how limited the quantity might be. I'm not going to buy place. We have something to fall back on. We got safety boots, insulated hand gloves, even safety rule book, coverall, safety harness for glassmen, hard hat, and things like that. And they are of superior quality, I'm also afraid to confess. So it will help us a lot. It will bolster the confidence of staff, especially technical men who are in the field doing the work. It's like when you don't equip them, they are like soldiers who sent into war without gun, without arsenal. But when you give them the appropriate safety wears, those safety wears are not doing the job, but then you have first line defense, first line protection of the worker is PPE, his or her PPE. So management tried enough. It will boost the morale, boost the morale of our workers, and they work confidently wherever they are, be it electrical maintenance, be it landscapers, PCM, or even operators. So they work confidently, knowing fully well that the management have their welfare at heart.
That was Mr. Ugoji Alozie, the Regional Safety Manager for the Port Harcourt region of TCN. The takeaway from this interview section is that internally, the TCN management is boosting its safety records by providing top-notch safety kits. However, TCN continuously appeals to members of the public to steer clear of power transmission installations and desist from vandalizing such. Well, here are the headlines just before we call it a day. Top of the report today featured the Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, speaking on TCN efforts to ensure stable national electricity grid. In Ebonyi State, we told you that TCN is accelerating the construction of a new 132-33 kV Amasiri substation. And in Kano, the 132-33 kV Danggundi transmission substation is being expanded with a 100 MVA power transformer. Then you heard Mr. Ugoji Alozie, the Regional Safety Manager for Port Harcourt region of TCN. He spoke on how the TCN management is boosting its safety records by providing top-notch safety kits. That was in the interview segment of this program. TCN appeals to members of the public to steer clear of power transmission installations and desist from vandalizing such. Let your voice be heard as you join TCN on this campaign against vandalism and encroachment of power transmission installations. Get more information when you subscribe to the TCN YouTube channel, TCN_Nigeria. On Facebook, kindly like the page Transmission Company of Nigeria. On X, formerly Twitter, follow TCN via @TCN_Nigeria. TCN is also on Instagram, TCN_Nigeria. You can also send emails to TCN via affairs.public@tcn.org.ng and it will get the required attention. Learn about the company's activities on the interactive website www.tcn.org.ng. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, commits to always deliver the best of services in the delivery of bulk power nationwide in the most efficient way. Let's have more conversation on this in the next edition of the Power Circuit. I am Amara Agugesi. Bye.